There it is, history being made, and we're all witness to it. Donald J. Trump officially sworn in as the 45th President of the United States. But how will he govern, and what will a Trump presidency actually look like?
Well, for 8 years, our next guest, Laura Schwartz, served in the Clinton administration. We're going to her live now in Washington, D.C. Laura, good morning to you, and thanks for joining us. Firstly, in all your years in politics, did you ever think you'd see this man walking into the Oval Office?
Oh, give me a moment. No, never. You know, Devin Top, great to be with the both of you, with all of your viewers in Australia. I think this really took America by storm, and he really swept the South. He got the votes needed to win, but I think everybody, and he benefited from a lot of people writing him off from the get-go. It really gave him time to build momentum. Of course, he had his own cash on hand to spend, and he had a lot of free media and rally times to get his message out. And I got to tell you guys, it resonated with a lot of people, and I think that's something the Democrats really have to take note of. And we'll see what happens in the first 100 days.
And what did you make of the ceremony itself? Because it did go without a hitch, and there were some moments where the family's been involved with the signing of documents. Give us a bit of a wrap from your point of view of how it's all unfolded so far.
Well, I tell you, I've been so honored. At 19, I stood on that National Mall and I watched President Clinton be inaugurated. And then in 1996, when I was actually director of television at the time at the White House, I got to sit on the Capitol platform about 10 rows back behind the president. And there's nothing like that moment. And that moment is figuring out that this is bigger than yourself. And I really believe that every family member today felt like that. I think Donald Trump certainly felt like that, taking the oath of office. And as far as going off without a hitch, it's pretty interesting, you guys. The ceremony at the U.S. Capitol is run by the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Activities. There's a lot of protocol involved and a lot of history. So not much of that changes, and you can pretty much step it off. The oath is given at 12 bells when the bell tower, which is just behind me, rings noon. And it's very ceremonial, and it's a really wonderful moment for the United States of America. No matter who you voted for, it's an exercise in democracy, and it's democracy in action.
The crowd there today looked significantly smaller than what we've seen at inaugurations past. Did it have a bit of a different vibe there today and feel a bit flatter almost?
Yeah, you know, Tom, it had a different vibe all week. I've been doing live shots down by the U.S. Capitol for the last couple of days, and even though, you know, the logistics were going on and people were setting up and scaffolding was going up, there weren't a lot of visitors coming down to see what was happening, taking pictures. It just seemed a little... Everybody kind of described it the same way, kind of eerily empty. And so we weren't sure what it was going to turn out today. And as we saw, they planned for a lot larger area, which you want to do, so that you have all the facilities and all the security in place, of course. It was nowhere near the 1.9 million that Obama got. And the weather really was pretty warm. It started raining a bit during the speech, but for the most part, it's held off to be pretty bearable. But I'll be interested in the crowd count. The National Park Service sends up a drone and they take a picture, and then they calculate by square footage and the amount of people, so they can kind of figure out an estimate of the crowd size. So we'll probably get that in a couple of hours, and we'll have an idea. But it definitely was a lot thinner than most years.
Yeah, look, it's just quite remarkable to witness, as you say, and the ceremony does continue. The parade will get underway, and then we'll have all of the inauguration balls. But Laura, it's so great to get your insights this morning.
Hey, absolutely, and the parade is a must-see. I walked it in '96, and it certainly is something just pretty amazing with all the military lined up along Pennsylvania Avenue.
Fantastic.
So stay tuned.
All right, good on you. Thanks so much.
We will, of course, be having that.